is supposed to be on every wall of this college. If you're an A student, you don't really care, because you're an A student, you're proud of the work that you've done. But if you're a B or C student, now you're going to be outed, and you better clean up your act real fast, or everyone is going to know that you're a B or C student. Not to compare grades with the biological health reasons of the codes that we're referring to, but in terms of the symbol having so much more meaning, that in your privacy of your own world being able to read your report card, or the privacy of your own world being able to read the report that you got from your health inspector that says there's a couple things you need to work on, now it's going to be in a letter this big. I'm pretty sure, even though I haven't been back to his house, but I'm pretty confident that the reason why Eddie is confident is because this message that he's giving us and the care and quality translates into the back of the house as well. And that's why I'm guessing that he's pretty confident when that law comes out, it's not going to change much. But we will see other establishments, familiar establishments that we've been dining at for a long time, that might not fare as well. And it will be a very interesting experience for all of us and for you to look and make those observations to see how does that letter grade then change your perception of the establishment and its ownership.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you, where did you see this article today that you referred to?
Oh, I saw it on New York One News.
Excuse me?
I saw it on New York One News.
New York One News today?
Yeah, New York Times, etc. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly it, though. It's called the secret's out kind of thing. In Vegas, we had the letter system. That's how they do it. Oh my, how it hurts at your heart and tugs and just wrenches when they take that bad boy down and put that B up there or C or whatever the case may be. I remember Cañonita, it was a simple thing, but we just kind of got to that cutoff point. And to look at that, and Christy was, our regular health inspector. She came in very diligent. Nothing, much tougher over there here in New York. We just got, by the way, the health inspector came in last week, but I'll tell you about that. And you got the letters. The cat's out, and people will judge accordingly. Like the professor was saying, some of those places that you've been dining on a regular basis, you think it's all good and dandy, but what's really going on? Kitchen confidential kind of things. Seriously, what's really happening down there? But that's about taking that ownership and taking that pride. And it's somewhat, to some degree, stepping up to the challenge. Stepping up to the challenge that there's nothing less than an A. Failure to me is not an option. Failure is not an option to me. Now, to have tried and failed, I'm okay with. I gave it some effort. But to not have tried at all, we got a problem. Anything else would be highly unacceptable. Mediocrity is unacceptable. There's going to be things and flaws and stuff that will happen, uncontrollables. But those that you can control, no way. I am in your face. I am responsible for every aspect of that restaurant. Thank God that I learned from a lot of wonderfully talented chefs in Vegas and elsewhere. I never realized, quite frankly, to be honest with you, until this past couple of weeks, and that's real, how much I understood about the kitchen and how much I knew about a kitchen. Been playing a little bit of dual roles and trying to get that kitchen to where it needs to be in place, to be certain that that A will happen, always. And it just takes that one little bit, that one little point, that little, oh my gosh, to get that B. A lot of different opinions out there. I say bring it on. Bring it on. I feel confident that we will work every day at making sure that we will get that A. That's all I can definitely be certain of. We will definitely give it the effort. So we talked about, what makes the restaurant fail? Well, it's things like that, not caring, not having owners that really care, not having owners that are present, not having owners taking their time. These guys were rejected for loans. They were told, you're crazy, you should not be doing this, blah, 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 everything in the world. You're going to fail. Doors ain't even open. Money's not even loaned. They're already being told that they're going to fail. Really? Yeah. Tell me how that goes if you go through life letting everybody tell you what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be all about. Let me know how that works. It doesn't. They kept on going, and they got their loan, and then opened up those doors on July 5th, 5.5 years ago, and have been making this work. Because they care. Because they're there. And nobody's going to care more about that restaurant than them. No one. As much as I care about that restaurant, as much as I love and adore, I will never ever care as much as they will. And that's obviously true. They're writing the checks. They're paying the bills. All on time and right. Question.
Service is your obsession. What's the training like for your team members?
Aggressive. Great. No. It's I want to make sure that you have all the tools necessary for you to succeed at what you're going to be doing in our house. To become an outstanding team member, that you're going to have the faith and trust that you are ready to go. And until that happens, you ain't going nowhere. That's the kind of training. Got your manuals, of course. Got your meetings. Got your working the different stations. You're in the kitchen. You're in the host stands. You're behind the bar. You know, whether you're hostess, whether you're bartender or server, you're in all those places. Because you need to understand every aspect of the organization for you to understand how it should function. Hand up there. What's up?
Hi. Do you,
What's your name?
Evelyn.
Hey, Evelyn, what's up?
Hi. Do you guys open for lunch or just dinner?
Brunch, Saturdays and Sundays, starting at 11. The public had spoken. We were opening up at 12. But people were coming in through the doors looking at us like a fish tank. Are they open yet? That's business. At the end of the day, you see a lot of those dollar bills walking by. You got to open up and make changes, and it's worked very well for us. Dímelo.
I have a question. Without firing anyone, what do you do to motivate or counsel your, the front of the house staff members? Not, you see the way they interact with the customers. It's not up to your standard.
Great question.
And actually, some other people would consider it very poor. Without firing someone, imagine you couldn't fire someone, and you already had your standards and procedures in place. What other measures can you take?
I've never fired anybody in my whole entire life. You hear that? I have never fired anybody in my whole entire life. Anybody know why? Hold on, there's some expectation you're gonna have to live up to. Any idea why?
You help them work on their imperfections. Maybe you give them options of how to improve it and they take them.
Teach. Set standards. Set expectations. Hold them accountable. If at the end of it all, with what I've laid out for you, you're still not doing. What's your name again?
Chris.
Chris, bro, this is what I need you to do. You think you might be able to do this for me? What's your answer?
Well, I tried that.
Okay. For which part? No.
That's not my job.
Oh, okay. Those words are never spoken in my house. And you should never accept those words ever to be spoken anywhere you're at. But when I come up to you and I ask you that simple question, basic question, are you able to do this? Will you be able to give yourself completely to this? And you say yes to me, right there you have established expectations are going to be met, and I can now hold you accountable for that. Okay?
Kind of piggybacking on this question, do you hold contests, or do you think it's a good idea to hold contests?
Star Rewards happens every month. Star Rewards, we have different facets of it all, highest tip percentage, highest sales, highest everything. Gives you the opportunity to be the star performer. It selects your section, we give you a little cash, we get it going. I like there's a lot of questions, but just real quick, let me just finish on this whole thing, on the premise of not firing anybody. Once I've established that, and we understand that this is what I expect from you, and this is what I want to have done, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you, you're going to fail once, but you have tried, and I'm going to make sure that we understand where it is that you went wrong, so that we now understand where we need to go right. At that point, we should start getting it right. Doesn't happen again. At some point now we have to start looking about the actual capability and promise you made to me that you were able to do the job. So if you're not able to at that point in time to do the job, guess what? Then you're not the best fit for the job. I'm not firing you. You're just not the best fit.
I'm sorry, you see, because it's to that point.
Yes.
So as an employee, if I said, no, actually, I'm not ready yet, what is your response?
What do I need to do to get you there?
Okay. So
Why
it's
don't-
not a matter of you either are with them or without them. There's a climate where if I'm not comfortable yet, I can say to you, I'm not comfortable, and you will continue to
Come on.
give me the opportunity
Come
to
on.
succeed.
Absolutely.
That is a really important difference.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of our managers will say, are you ready? And if we say no, we're gonna get out of it.
Yeah. It's too easy. That's the easy way.
That's, yeah.
You failed. You failed. You failed. If you can't get somebody that you've hired because of XYZ resume, the whole money, reputation, blah, 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 then you failed. You have to start looking at yourself, what did I do wrong at their lack of
You
success,
as the
Evelyn?
manager,
Huh?
you as the manager, you're taking the full.
Ownership. I'm
You're
taking ownership. I'm
you're
taking full
responsibility
ownership.
Because someone is.
Oh, absolutely,
gonna-
because I have to trust, Mama, that everything I've laid out, every test, every manual, every single aspect of the systems in place, and structures and policies and procedures, I've given them to you. So as an adult, you have a responsibility. You can do it or you can't. And if you're not able to, tell me where I'm going wrong so I can try to get it. And if still after that, then we have to figure out what we're gonna do next.
I'm confused. So you're saying after you exhausted all your options to help this person and they still failed, you're taking responsibility for it?
Well, listen,
Because I
at the
have
very
to
end of it all, when we realize I'm taking responsibility in the beginning of
Right,
giving
and
that,
then that's
but at the end of
it.
the day,
You
when they
gotta go.
realize that they're not the fit, not necessarily that I'm firing them, that they're just not the fit for it, and it's happened this way for all the times that I've been doing it,
They'll
then that
fail.
relationship is over. It's hit or misses sometimes, and these are the things you hope for the best when you hire somebody, and that's just kind of the way it works. And again, that's great. There, you got a lot of questions. I'm sorry, Professor. How much time do I have?
You were saying before that sometime when you go to work, you're not in the mood. Maybe you have some problem with girlfriend or family.
People, not
Problems
just
with
me.
that. I used to work as a manager. I worked as a manager like 2.5 years.
Mhm.
And sometimes there conflict problem back there in the kitchen with the workers. So I would like to know how you guys do to keep down the employer people working in a nice environment with no problem and all that. Because I as a manager, I went through that
Sure.
kind of stuff.
Sure. Guidance. 5 minutes before the store opens up down in the kitchen, we have a quick powwow so that they understand the road that we're to travel that night, what the expectations are that night, what kind of parties we got going in. It's about establishing standards, establishing guidelines, putting accountability in the forefront. And the only way, and you know what? And at the end of the day, be a human being. Respect your people. Treat them like human beings. Hope for the very best for them. Guide them. Teach them. Educate them. Always, always give yourselves to them. If you can do that, you'd be surprised what happens. People need structure. You know, I make my bed every morning. I just make my bed. It's just a sort of military thing. You make your bed, it's a sense of order for myself for the rest of my day. That little simple gesture of making my bed, putting things in place. Order. I'm establishing it right from the very beginning of my day. And you hope to God that everything kind of works out that way for the rest of the day. But these things are going to happen. But it's okay. Just be ready to handle it.
I agree with you for the hit and miss part. With the restaurant that I work at, if you were to train somebody, you have to train them, make sure you train them the best way you can, and that he knows what he's doing, because if he doesn't know what he's doing, it kind of gets pushed on you. It's kind of like, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And then when he
That
doesn't
same,
tell you,
it's that same sort of concept. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. As a leader of that group, that's the kind of thing that I need to be conscientious about. That I have the people training, but where is it not going wrong? Right. Wherever. And you have to dialogue. You have to talk. You have to figure out what's going on. Let me go to her. She had her hands up real quick.
When it comes to being a manager, how do you deal with customer complaints? Like, if the dish isn't as good as they want it to be, do you comp the meal, or do you buy them after dinner drink? Like, how do you decide whether what to do about that?
Yeah. You know, I get asked this question from the staff. You know, when they come up to us, oh, this guest is this and that. What are you going to say to them? I have no idea what I'm going to say to them. I have no clue. I'm going to work on the moment. I'm going to approach that table. I'm going to take those 5 seconds approaching you. I'm gonna use the 5-10 rule. Know the 5-10 rule? Anybody knows the 5-10 rule? Who knows it? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody? 10 feet away, I'm smiling at you. 5 feet away, I'm smiling and talking, saying hello to you. 5-10 rule. Just so you know, write it down. But I'm approaching you, I'm gonna get a sense of where you're at. And human beings give that off. First thing I'm gonna say is I'm so sorry for the experience, whatever the case may be. That's the first thing. Acknowledge. Acknowledge the problem. Okay? Say I'm sorry. Find solution quickly, because at the end of the day, that's what they want. Whether you have to comp it or not, we try to fix it and not necessarily comp it. Business is business at the end of the day, and you want to try to have a little bit of loss as you can, probably P&L, and you just handle it every situation, because they're all very different. I can approach a table and all they want to do is just kind of give me their input. I might approach a table and they're just really angry for something else that happened. Ain't nothing about me or ain't nothing about the food. But I'm going to get that at that moment, at that situation with that particular person, because everybody's different. That's why I tell them, I don't know what I'm going to say to them. I'm going to take care of it. And I always do. I will turn it around. I'm the turnaround king. I make sure that you're walking out of there. At all costs, you're walking out of there happy. You walk out happy out of my house.
Let's have 2 or 3 more questions.
Yeah.
Because Eddie has already been more than generous with his time.
Well, I got 3, so you go ahead.
Okay, I'm a young manager. I have hired 5 people. 3 of them saw my job posting, sent me a resume, I interviewed them, I thought they were perfect. 2 of them wound up being complete flakes. The third, I would retire her number if she was in professional sports.
Wow.
I don't have 20 years of experience. I keep being told, you're going to learn how to read people. For a room full of aspiring managers and young folks, what advice can you give to get the right people the first time?
It's okay if you don't. It's okay. You pray to God that there's not a lot of costs incurred in the process of finding out their true facades that they came in with. They came in good and they were flaky. It's sometimes one of those things, even the most seasoned of managers out there, can get this pretty picture resume, the whole image, everything, and then they walk in and you're like, you are who? You wonder who the heck did you just hire? It's one of those things. And it's not about time, it's not about anything, it's about people. Feel the people. See if they connect with the image that your establishment is putting out there. See if they will fit. See if they will believe what you're doing in your house. Because if they don't believe it, they never will. I can teach people how to use the computer, how to serve drinks, how to make, how to do, how to whatever. I'll never be able to teach personality. Never. Never, ever, ever. It just won't happen. But you're going to feel it. And the more you deal with people, the more you interact, and quite frankly, study people. Be a people watcher. Study, observe, look. Have your eyes wide open. Perfect. One more, last one.
What is the most challenging part, any challenge customer or cases you have ever handled, and how to solve it?
I haven't seen it yet. Haven't seen it yet. Okay? But I'm sure some funny ones will come along, and there's great stories. I wish I had more time with you. But there's just lots of stories, in a lot of different situations. And I'm blessed for each and every one of them. And I'm humbled by every one of those situations, because it's an opportunity. It's all an opportunity in everything that we do. It's an opportunity to make a difference. It's an opportunity to turn things around. It's an opportunity for them to say, which I've had happen, pissed, angry, the whole 9 yards, and at the end of it all, you know what? Thank you so much. You really turned that around for us. And that is why I do what I do.